The Bermuda Triangle, they teach you to blame the wind and the waves. Draw a triangle and salt Miami, Bermuda, San Juan, and call what goes missing an air of weather, a lapse of skill, a gullible century telling ghost stories to itself. But the water is only half the tale. The stranger half begins after the splash, when radios go quiet and the paperwork learns to shrug. Again and again the pattern returns, patient as tide. Pilots report a milk-white haze that swallows the horizon, instruments that spin like coins and never land, a radio that hears its own echo and no one else. Everything looks wrong, one voice said before the sky took it. Ships drift into calm seas and vanish as if the ocean exhaled and forgot to inhale. Emergency beacons sleep through the emergency. Satellites blink, and there is, impossibly, a seam in the all-seeing eye. Call it superstition if it helps. But ask the files to stand up and you will notice how many sit down. Logs misplaced, conclusions cautious to the point of emptiness, cause unknown, likely error, a rubber stamp where a map should be. Freedom of information request return pages that look like winter fields, black bars snowed over. Restricted boxes float on the charts nearby, where training flights practice things the public never learns to name. Insurers once priced the risk a little higher. Now the ledger is polite and the mystery is PR. It is easier and cheaper to call a legend a legend. The sea itself keeps its own odd books. Here, compasses flirt with a line where true north and magnetic north shake hands, and older needles grow nervous. Some speak of buried grids and old stones under newer water, of an engine switched off long ago that still hums from the deep. Others, bolder or more tired, say the triangle is a test range wearing a mask of myth maintained like camouflage so the curious will wander in circles while the necessary work goes on just out of frame. Listen long enough and the testimonies start to rhyme. Electronic fog. Time felt wrong. The gauges went quiet like they were holding their breath. Different decades, different tongues, the same handful of words like shells the ocean keeps throwing back. The coordinates, too, have their small joke. Numbers that glance toward the speed of light, as if geometry were winking from the planetary skin. Coincidence, say the sensible, perhaps. Coincidence with a good memory, then. What keeps the triangle alive is not monsters but silence. Elsewhere, the world sprints toward answers, black boxes raised from miles of water, animations on the evening news, policy rewritten before the ink dries. Here, the follow-up is a fog bank. When truth does not arrive, stories do, and some of them are masks that look like faces. Wormholes, Atlantan batteries, windows in the fabric ideas the mind invents when the official world refuses to turn on the lights. Maybe that refusal is the point. A theater needs a curtain, and the best curtains are famous. If you tell a population that a place is haunted, you can do many ordinary things behind the haunting. If you tell them it's only weather, you can do extraordinary things behind the weather. Either way, attention is managed. Either way, the sea performs its part, a little static, a missed ping, a ship that left no ripple. And yet, under the superstition, there is the stubborn fact of repetition. Routes flown 1,000 times that falter in the same mile. Vessels that slip past one another in history, lost within sight of each other's ghosts. Not randomness, but reprise. Not chaos, but a motif you can hum once someone shows you the tune. Patterns are not proof, but they are not nothing. Perhaps the triangle is only a place where many small biases align, human confidence. Hurried maintenance, whether that turns on a whisper, magnetism with a trickster's grin. Perhaps, or perhaps it is a protocol disguised as an ocean. A controlled ambiguity, a cultivated legend that protects something older than nav charts and newer than myth. A door, even if not to another world, then to rooms we have agreed not to enter with cameras. Stand on a pier at dusk and you can feel why stories grow here. The horizon is a rule the sea breaks without trying. The wind lifts, the water darkens, and the mind begins to draw lines between lights that never promise to be related. You watch a beacon blink and miss the next one and tell yourself it was only your eyelid. You check your watch. For a second, it hesitates. The Bermuda Triangle may be nothing but wind and waves. It may be a rehearsal space for secrets. It may be both weather above and tension below, until someone speaks plainly. The legend will keep doing the work legends do, absorbing anomalies, deflecting questions, satisfying no one, and protecting everyone who needs protecting. What vanishes here is not only steel and wings, it is certainty. It is the expectation that every riddle means us no harm. And what remains is the pattern beneath the surface, quiet, insistent, and shaped like a triangle drawn by a careful hand, daring us to ask whether the map is the mystery or the mask.